Okay guys, I'm gonna work through experiment 10.1 for you. So using our mass scale, we're gonna measure 50.0 grams of table salt and put it into the beaker. So what I'm gonna do, since I already have a scale that measures grams, is I'm gonna set it in grams, and then I'm going to put my 250 beaker on it, and I'm gonna zero it out. So now when I add my salt, I'm just measuring the salt. I'm trying to get 50.0 grams. So let's do that. Okay, and you can see that I have 50.1. And that's my 250 milliliter beaker with 50.1 grams of salt. Now it says to add 50.0 milliliters of water to the salt and stir with my stirring rod. So I have my graduated cylinder. I already pre-measured my 50 milliliters of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in here. And then I'm gonna stir it with my stirring rod. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit for a minute while I get my funnel ready. So I'm gonna take my filter paper and I'm gonna fold it into 4. I'm gonna fold it again like this. And I'm gonna set it into my funnel, and I'm just gonna pop one of the sides. So it's basically like this. And then to help it along, I have a separate graduated cylinder that I put a little bit of water in. So I'm just gonna try and help it stick to the funnel. You don't need a lot to do this, but it just helps get it ready. And then I'll have that water go through. Okay. So now I have my funnel ready for when I need it. Okay, I'm going to take my electric stove right here, and I'm gonna heat my solution, and I'm gonna be stirring with my thermometer, and I want it to get to be 95 degrees Celsius, and then I'm gonna take it off of the burner, okay? So I'm gonna put that here. Hopefully can you see that? Let me turn it on. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here. This over here. I'm gonna turn on my thermometer. And 95 degrees Celsius. That's what I'm going for. So I'm actually gonna pause the video. I'm gonna continue to heat this solution, this saltwater solution, until I get to 95 degrees Celsius. Then I'm gonna take my beaker tongs right here, and I'm gonna place it right here on my hot plate, and then I'll restart the video, okay? So we're gonna take a pause right here. I do wanna mention a couple things while I'm doing this. So you guys can see that when I mixed the salt with the water, that it was a cloudy solution. Also, when you're stirring with your thermometer, you don't want to be putting the thermometer down on the beaker or on the side of the beaker, but you want it in the solution. You're trying to measure the solution, right? So that's just a note for if you were doing this at home. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I have my 100 milliliter beaker, is I'm going to take the solution that just came off of the heat. I'm gonna take my funnel that I've already prepared with my paper, and I'm going to start filtering it through. And you just want to make sure that you don't go above the line. You want to give it time to come through, and hopefully you can see that it's funneling through. And you want to continue to do this until you have about 20 milliliters of liquid that's been funneled through. So I'm gonna stop and do this and then come back when I have that. Okay, I'm back. I have about 20 milliliters. Hopefully you can see that that's a very clear solution. So what have you done? You've funneled the solution into the beaker, and it should be clear because all the undissolved salt should have been filtered out by the paper. However, you're not going to do this. I don't recommend doing this, but if you were to taste this, it would taste very salty because it's a saturated solution, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this beaker in my freezer for about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna look at it. Okay guys, I have taken the solution out of the freezer, and hopefully you can see right there looking down on it that some of the salt has come out of the solution. You can see some of the crystals floating on top, and there's a few on the bottom of the beaker. And this is the end of the experiment.